Hey everyone, welcome to Jump Ultimate Stars. I'm gonna start playing this from today on. Now the only thing is that I was gonna go ahead and skip these few sort of moments in the game where it's basically just telling you how to play the game, and I was gonna do that later on, but I figured I might as well just get it out of the way since the tutorial is extremely, thorough, which is why I didn't want to go through it. But I figured might as well just have it, and then I can just talk about some other shit while I'm at it. So yeah, this is Jump Ultimate Stars. If you didn't know, this is a game that came out a long time ago on the Nintendo DS. It was only released in Japan, but sometime in, I want to say 2008, 2009, something around that time, maybe even 2010, like 95% English translation patch was released by some modders, I guess is the term. Some guys on the internet. Yeah, basically the entire game is pretty much translated. The only thing that it's missing out is there's this sort of section in the game where you do like quizzes, where they quiz you about the certain series, which really sucks because I always really wanted to do that. But as far as I know, that hasn't been patched. I checked, I think like a year ago, and it hasn't been patched. There's no way for me to really go through that. So when it comes to that, I'm just gonna have to get to that. But that's nor here nor there. I want to say it's a Smash clone, but it's basically just a fighting game. It's a 2D fighting game. You have platformers, so you can jump up and down the platforms. That's what makes it more Smash-like rather than normal 2D fighting. But it's also sort of a, I think there's a word for it. It's like a party fighter. I think that's what they call it. But you know, you have your light attack, your heavy attacks, and you can do variations of those. So you can do, you know, forward light to do a different move, or up and light to do a different move, stuff like that. And you know, and you also have special moves in this game. As you can see, the little jump pirate icon, or I should say mascot, I believe is the right term. Let's go ahead and explaining everything there, the basic stuff. Yeah, it's gonna be playing pretty much through this. Gonna go through a lot of different manga, and I'm gonna try my best to sort of talk about each manga in each episode, give them their own time and whatnot. Let's see what is it that we gotta do in this one. We got, I think he goes over, he goes over attacks? Yeah, so B is weak, Y is strong. Strong is obviously, you know, stronger, but weak is faster. Doesn't leave yours open. You can use different directions to attack. You can also attack in the air. Standard fare. I'm gonna say Fander. Standard fare kind of stuff. If you didn't know, I mean, I'm looking at the Wikipedia article and it says Shonen Jump is a shonen manga anthology. I thought they were a publisher. I don't know what anthology. Anthology is a collection of works. I guess that's technically what they are. It's a magazine that prints out manga, you know, in one single magazine. I have a bunch of them actually that I got in, like, let's see, pulled out a random one. This one's from May 2011. Can't really see it obviously, but this is the English version that I have, and I have really old issue. Oh wow, Siren is in this. Hold on. I just finished reading Siren like a couple of days ago. Oh, that's crazy. Wow. Alright, anyways. Yeah, so they just publish a lot of manga together in one source so you can get them, and they publish it weekly. I think they also have a monthly version. But, I don't know if that prefers, or that specifically for the English version. Maybe Shonen... there's another name for the Japanese version, because it seems like Shonen Jump, or Weekly Shonen Jump. Try to do some research on the fly here, aren't I doing? This is what's the word? Very professional and very informative, but whatever. What I was gonna get to basically is that every sort of episode I'm going to devote to a certain series, because each series has their own planet in this game with their own set of missions that you have to complete. So every series has their own, planet and their own missions, and the missions you have to complete them to, complete the planet and get what you get from them. So while I'm doing that, I figured I would talk a little bit about the actual series itself, if I have any experience with it, maybe beforehand read like the first couple of chapters of the manga, just talk about the actual thing, because similarly to Prince of Tennis, I'm doing this in post, so this is post commentary. The other thing is that I'm probably going to do live commentary afterwards, but for now it's going to be post. We'll see how it works out, because I know there's some sections where they're not exactly specific on a series. They're actually sort of like these boss planets or like stuff like that, so those I'll probably do live just because there's nothing really to talk about. But yeah, so one of the main features about this game is that you can see the tutorial has gone over it just now, is on the bottom screen I have sort of this manga panel. I don't know why I said pile. This manga panel that has about, I think, 16 squares, and you can fill up those with different komas is what they call them. And these komas are basically magna panels, straight from the manga. They're just, scenes from the manga that you can put in there, and that's how you make your manga deck. This deck constitutes of what characters you're going to use, what your assist characters are going to be, and they also have these helper characters. He's actually going to go over the deck right now. So if it's a coma of at least 4 blocks, that's an actual character you can play with. If it's 3 to 2 blocks, that's just a support character. Anything from 4 and up is a playable character. And then when it's only 1 block, it's a helper character, which, for example, gives you an extra boost, like, I don't know, gives you a stronger guard or something like that, and you can equip it to one of your fighting characters. And that's one of my favorite things about this game, is that while it's a party game, you can customize it a lot and use all these different characters, and they kind of interact with each other a little bit. My headphone got stuck on my thing. And you can also see all the little magna panels. I see it keeps saying manga. I'm accidentally saying mana. All these manga panels, which you can see I had a lot of fun with, and I made the background for this. As you can see, I kind of fucked up on one of them, actually, now that I see it. Maybe I didn't fuck up, I'm not really sure. But if you see, like, right down the middle, right next to Yugi, and then on the right hand side, there's from Yu Yu Hakusho, there's like a line above them. I don't know if that's supposed to be there. Fuck it, it's too late for that shit. Because I made this background a long time ago, because I was going to play this in, sometime in like January, or something like that. I have to sneeze. Sorry about that. But yeah, I made this a long time ago in January. I was really hyped to start playing it. I even recorded an episode. The only issue was that, my whole thing happened where I basically just had for lack of a better word, I guess it was just a breakdown or a quarter-life crisis or whatever the hell you want to call it, happened. And obviously that put a halt to everything. So here I am, picking up the pieces. That's why I specifically picked this and Prince of Tennis, just because this I thought was really fun, and I already had the assets for it, so I figured I might as well get it out of the way. And Prince of Tennis I always had a lot of fun making, so I figured I'd get to moving on that. I was already started on Mega Man Zero when I sort of came out of hiatus in the early summer, so I started Mega Man Zero 2, so I figured I'd finish up with that. And then Pokemon, I just really like Pokemon, especially recently with all the fucking Pokemon Sun and Moon information that's been out, and Pokemon Go. I really want to play some Pokemon on my channel, so that's why I'm doing the Nuzlocke challenge, which you'll probably be seeing later today. So spoiler alert or whatever. Anyways, so yeah, part of the fun of the game is finding all the good komas and finding a way to fit them all into your magna panels, and sort of each koma has their own shape, so there's a lot of them that come out in just a 4x4 block, or I should say 2x2 block, I think is more correct. And like also the other ones that come in these weird shapes, so you gotta try and fit them in. It's fun, and you get to see all these silly little scenes or serious scenes or cool scenes from said manga. So we should get to see that pretty soon. The tutorial is taking a lot longer than I thought it would. Alright, here we are at another planet. As you can see here, he's going to tell us what dream combos are and attributes. Dream combos are just when you, let's say you have 3 characters in your panels. Let's say they're Luffy, Naruto, and Goku, which I don't have right now. So you can tap Luffy for him to do an attack, and then you can tap again on the bottom screen for Naruto, and he'll switch to Naruto, and Naruto will also do an attack. And you can tap Goku, and he'll come out and do an attack. These attacks are usually pretty fast. And if you go back and you tap on Luffy again on the beginning, you know, if you do a whole circuit, Luffy will come out and he'll do his special attack. So you do a combo, what they call it, dream combo. Now, that being said, using a different example, let's say we have Yugi from Yu-Gi-Oh! We have, I guess we can keep Luffy from One Piece, and we'll take, what do you guys know? Bobo from Bobo. Bobo's attribute is laughter, because you know his series is a comedic series. Luffy's attribute is power, because you know he's fucking Luffy, wreck shit. While Yugi's attribute is knowledge, because you know he's fucking the king of games. He's not exactly going out punching people, nor is he, you know, throwing out one-liners on a comedy tour. So they have this sort of rock paper scissors mechanic to them. I might not be too right about this, but I think power beats knowledge, knowledge beats laughter, and laughter beats power. I believe that's how it works. So if you do that in battle, for example, if you have Luffy going up against Yugi, you'll be able to do a lot more damage as opposed to Yugi attacking Luffy, who doesn't do as much damage. Whereas if you had Bobo attacking Luffy, he'll do a lot of damage to Luffy, but Luffy can't do a lot of damage to Bobo. But Yugi can come in and wreck Bobo. I believe that's how that works. Yeah, that's about it. I mean, we're pretty much done with the tutorial. I think the only thing that's really left is maybe just the different sort of game modes, but that'll come up when we actually play them. And the only other thing he hasn't discussed is just that you can press the select to do sort of like a taunt. Everyone's taunt is different. So for example, Luffy, he pulls out a fucking piece of meat and starts eating it, and it recovers his health a little bit. If you pick any of the Dragon Ball Z characters, they'll charge their ki, which will bring up their super or their special gauge. And you know, different stuff like that. And they're nice little sort of homages to said series. For example, if you do it with Naruto, he'll get a substitution steal. So when the next time he gets hit, he'll, you know, swap places with Log. Stuff like that. So it's pretty cool. And you can also do a lot of things. Like there's items all over the place. You can also... I'll kind of go over what items do, I guess, when I use them. Maybe I don't go for items all that much. But you can also sort of throw items at people. You also have all these other little things which you went over already, but you can, you know, break the opponent's guard, make them switch, little things like that. So nothing too fancy to talk about. And you can also ring people out. Unlike Smash, where the only way to win is to ring people out, this game you have health, but you can also knock people out, which is obviously the easiest way to do it. And Luffy is actually the ring out king. Specifically the Luffy that I'm using now, the 4-Coma Luffy. He's really good early on, just because like his specials and all his moves, they just wreck through rings, and they can just throw people out extremely far. So he's really good at that. And I'm just here. This is the last tutorial, and he just wants me to beat up it's supposed to be a coma here, but it's just this sort of character that you'll see a lot in the game. Just throwing out my special there. Whenever I, you know, flash white and just do a combo, that's usually my special. So I went ahead and switched to Naruto here. Naruto's an alright character. There's a couple of different moves. That air kick that I just did, where he throws you down, that move is pretty good if you use it in the right stage, because you can knock people down, and that air combo there is pretty good. He's a pretty solid character, as you can expect from being one of the big 3. Ichigo, he's okay. I don't think he's one of the better characters, but yeah, that's gonna do it for this part of Jump Ultimate Stars. Next time, we'll actually go and do something. Stay fresh.
Are you okay?